Hello and welcome
to our teacher's video that works alongside our Samba series.
with Tim.
And Dave.
We totally appreciate that leading a Samba band can be quite a daunting task, and you may be a little worried about getting started. So in this video we want to share with you a few tips and a few tricks, some ideas, suggestions and techniques to give you the confidence to lead the Bateria.
So during this Samba series, we encourage you to work in a block formation. Our block formation is not only to enable you to control your Bateria with confidence, but also to make things look a little bit aesthetically pleasing. Our block formation would look something like this. In an ideal world, you'd have enough room, but if you haven't, please feel free to alter your block formation to make it suit your room. We'll talk about rotating the block so that every member of your group gets a chance to play every instrument. You can use these rotations as and when you please. It's up to you.
A quick word about slings. These are the slings for the surdos or for group 1. You don't have to use slings. It's fine to have the children sitting on a bench or sitting on the floor, or they can even just stand, put one foot underneath the end of the surdo and play it so that some of the sound comes out of the bottom. If you want the whole Bateria to stand, you'll need to use slings. Slings can impede the speed at which you do a rotation, so you'll need to decide if you want to use them or not. If you want to use them, tell the children to pick up the sling by the hook. Put their hand in to the loop underneath the hook, pull it like that, over the head and one arm through. I'll show you that again. Pick up the sling by the hook, put your arm in the loop underneath the hook, head and arm through the sling. Then you take the hook, attach it to the drum, and you're ready to play. Sometimes the slings are too long, sometimes the slings are too short. They're easily adjustable with the buckle. If it's still too long, tie a knot in the back. If the Bateria are standing, tell group 1 with the surdos to stand with their feet apart and the surdo in between their knees to stop the surdo from wobbling from side to side. Slings can be a help, but they can also be a hindrance and slow everything down. It's up to you if you use them or not. Let's start with signals. Signals for the Bateria come from the leader with a whistle and hand signals. Signals are used to signify introductions, endings, breaks, and even down to the volume that a section may play in. Make your signals clear and use authority over the Bateria. Make sure that everyone can always see you and is always looking at you. There's nothing worse in a Bateria than when you give a signal and half of the band don't follow you. So insist that all members of the band are used to your presence and are used to how you will give the signals. Use your hands to tell the Bateria what you want them to do, and your whistle with loud, clear blows to tell them when you want them to do it. Keep the hand signal in place even when you're blowing the whistle. This will ensure that anyone that wasn't looking at you when you started blowing the whistle can still see the hand signal and is still concentrating on what to do and when to do it. Here's a video example of some different signals being given to a band. Let's look at some signals that you'll want to become familiar with, signals that will feature in the video series. This is the groove signal. This signal signifies to the band that you want them to go into the groove. You'll wave your arm like this, make sure you've got everyone looking, and then blow the whistle to tell them when to go into the groove. Section break signal. The section breaks have numbers. Section break 1, section break 2, 3 or 4. Hold up the relevant number really clearly like this to the band. Then use the whistle to tell them when to go into the section break. Call and response break. The signal looks like this. This means you are telling the band you are going to play something and you want them to copy it. The call and response break is a brilliant break on its own, but you can also use it to get concentration back from the band. If the rhythms are falling apart, switch to a call and response break to get the band locked back in. The ending signal. This means that you want the band to end on the fist. Use your hand and the whistle to signify when the ending will happen. At that point, you can either stop the band and end the performance, or you can add an ending of your own. Practice blowing your whistle and giving signals. This will help give you confidence in front of the band. As the leader, you can compose the piece on the spot. Try not to get too bogged down with counting how many loops you've done. When you get to a point in the performance and it feels right to insert a break, then do it. If it feels easier to write down a set structure and memorize it, then feel free to do so. But try not to get too bogged down in reading the paper, and just enjoy leading the band and making up a performance.
So now let's have a look at our lead instruments, the acacia
And the heponique, or the hepi.
Now this can seem quite scary, playing in front of a class and not mastering it. But actually, we think it's really fantastic for children to see adults learning at the same time that they are. And actually, it creates a really nice cohesion between staff and students. Don't be afraid to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? Through the episodes, we're going to show you some different patterns that you can play with the Bateria. But to help you in advance, we thought we'd give you a couple of sticking patterns that you can do just to practice and be ready. These will not only help your coordination, but they'll give you a really good idea of different things you can do on the acacia and the reponique. So the first technique is what we call a single stick. And a single stick is just the idea of getting our arms moving at separate times to each other. On the acacia, I'll be playing with 2 sticks, and I'll be just playing right, left, right, left.
On the hepi, I'll be using 1 stick and a hand. You can either palm in the middle or use the tip of your finger on the rim.
A single stick would just look like this. Then you can increase your tempo as you gain more confidence, like this. And eventually you'll be able to get to something like this speed. Our second technique is one that moves from right hand to left hand and is called a paradiddle. The sticking pattern on either drum would go right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. And it looks like this. Again, once you've mastered that, try increasing the speed. Now we will post all of the sticking techniques that we've done at the end of this video so you can keep revisiting them and keep practicing.
On 2 of the pieces that feature in the video series, we'll be asking the lead drums to emphasize beats 2 and 4. Now, if you count 4 in your mind, emphasizing beats 2 and 4 literally means making beat 2 and 4 louder, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be helpful if you could practice that on the lead instruments. It'll look something like this. The more advanced version of that is to feel the notes in between the beat. We'll call these and it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. On the drums, it sounds like this. On the hep, I do the 1 in the middle and the 2 on the end, and silent ands with my left hand.
On the Acacia, we're just playing the 1 and in the middle of the drum, 1 and then we accent or emphasize the number 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Once you get really comfortable with that, with the advanced version, you could try doing it really quick, like this.
Now we will post all of the sticking techniques that we've done at the end of this video so you can keep revisiting them and keep practicing. Now yes, this may take some time to master, but you having confidence in delivery makes the Bateria sound so much better. Now if after practice you're still not feeling confident at playing the lead drums in front of everybody, then don't worry about it. Why not ask a member of your group to play the lead drums and you concentrate on leading until you've got that confidence. Make sure before you start to have your room ready. Try and get a clear space. The hall is perfect. Try and make sure that you've got the instruments ready. Don't be worried if you've not got an instrument for everybody. Samba is free and easy, and if you need to add additional instruments from the percussion trolley or cupboard, feel free to do so. Add wood blocks, add guairos, add tambourines. Experiment with different timbres and instruments.
The most important part of leading a Bateria is to enjoy it and be free and easy. Feel free to change the structures if you want to, or you can stick to the structures that we've laid out for you. If you command authority when you're in charge, the Bateria will respond. Have fun and enjoy leading your Bateria. Good luck.
Goodbye.